Good morning around the Diamond family. Happy New Year. We are officially in 2024. Looking forward to this upcoming baseball season. It is like what, 3 months away now? We're 3 months away from baseball. Actually, we're about 2 months and or a month and like a half because we all
Spring
know pitchers
training's
and
coming.
catchers report right after Valentine's Day.
Yep.
So that will be exciting. Bill, what's in 2 weeks?
FanFest, baby. First
Fan
ever
Fest.
Top Fan Rivalry FanFest.
It's going to be awesome. But as always, we got to get this going the right way. Baseball Bill, how are you doing on this beautiful Saturday morning?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm ready to go. We got we got something fun planned. I'm gonna try to see if I can't paint Sammy into a corner a little bit today. So
We
we're
know
gonna
he's
have a good
going to.
time.
He's going to. You're going to.
Yeah. And we're gonna have a
Confident.
good time on this show. It's gonna be a good one.
I live in the confidence you're going to throw me for a curveball.
Curveball. Curveball. Or as they say in
Let's get
Houston,
this.
bang bang fastball.
Let's get this going. We changed it up a little bit to start the year off, so we're gonna just talk about some free agent signings over this last week. I think the big one on here, and Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but Austin Wynn's being designated for assignment. Biggest thing that's happened this last week in free agency. I mean, what are the Reds gonna do?
I know. I know. How are they gonna survive that big hole?
I'm lost. I'm lost.
Yeah, lost for
Lost for
words.
words.
Yeah, and the by the way, the Lucas Giolito signing is an interesting signing to me because Baltimore is not a pitcher-friendly park. I mean, what's left field? 180 feet with a 20-foot ball or something
Yeah,
like that. I mean, I'm joking, but he's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad in Boston. And
that's fair.
so I don't think there's anywhere in between for him to be.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to hit the nail on the head. They have to hit the nail on the head. But if I remember looking at it correctly, the Lucas Giolito one, I believe, was actually pretty friendly. It's a pretty friendly deal, if I
Yeah,
can
to
remember correctly.
Beantown. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it's got the player option for 25.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, he could all he's got to do is see how he feels after this year. If he doesn't like it, he can get out of Dodge. I mean, there's really nothing else you can do. Um, I like the 1 year Bader signing for the Mets. They needed someone to come into that role
Hmm.
where he is. So
And
I
he's
think that
liked in New
was,
York.
yeah,
He's liked in New York. He played him in
yeah,
the Bronx, so he's liked in New York. I like
100%. What do you think of the Woo Suk Joe signing with the Padres on a 2 year contract with a third year option?
it. All it says is it says we're moving Josh Hader,
Yeah.
and it says we're probably not bringing back Blake. That's all it says. I mean, Blake did sign with Top Fan Rivalry, but we'll talk more about that in a second.
Yeah. I mean, that
Um,
contract, you told me about it before we started.
it's a it's a it's a
He
very
is,
much
he,
a team friendly contract.
no, it is very much a top fan rivalry friendly contract. Let's be honest.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on. Blake's now back. Blake, like you hope to back me into a corner soon. You backed Blake Corner not only into a corner, but into a dark cave that he could never find himself out.
he signed it.
I mean, if he
It's not
signed it,
it's
that's
not
his fault.
not me. We negotiated it. He signed it.
Master negotiator. What do you think of and then we'll talk about it, just touch on it real quick. What do you think of the Frankie Montas with 1 year for the Reds?
Okay, so
Nothing
I mean
exciting.
the Reds are a great ballpark. They are a great team. They have history. I can't figure out their identity. And I've talked to Reds fans too, and they don't some of them are struggling to figure out what the identity is for the Reds. Like, well,
Mhm.
what does that look like? I the last time the owner called me, I had to send him a voicemail.
Just love sending people the voicemail and getting them later.
Yeah, yeah. I was
There's
busy.
only a few people you actually pick up the phone for that you don't push. dude.
You are one of them, Sam.
I feel honored.
You know,
It took me a while to get to that point because at first you were straight pushing me to voicemails. Like he'd hear one ring and it was like, up decline. And then all of a sudden I warmed him up.
yep, yep, yep. Awesome.
Let's talk about some trades over this last week because this was a big trade week. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it was.
it
It was.
made zero sense with the free agents that are on the market.
hmm
That trades were like more of a priority, really.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think about it. So let's talk about the first big one. I think this was probably the biggest one for the week.
hmm
Chris Sale not only being shipped off to Atlanta, but as well signing a 2-year extension for Vaughn Grissom and cash. And the cash has not been disclosed as to how much. Who won?
The Red Sox won.
Yeah.
When Chris is good, he's really, really good. When Chris is not healthy, he is not good. And right now, if they can get him healthy, and if he becomes that guy that is healthy and strong, well, that boosters the Braves' already strong rotation with Spencer Stash in it and a few others.
Mhm.
Um, if he is the guy that goes on the IL, comes back, pitches a little bit, goes back on the IL, Vaughn Grisham's going to be a player that you're going to hear about, in years to come, for sure.
Right. Do you think do you think with having the defense behind Chris Sale of that feel of the fielders in Atlanta, could that help propel Chris Sale to not have to take on such a heavy workload that he
Yes,
might have had to take on in Boston?
yes, yes. Good, 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 good observation. But yes,
So realistically, this could be almost a wash of a trade if the defense can back up Chris Sale, as we hope he could. Because that defense last year was incredible.
so a lot of with this Chris Sale trade, a lot of it is if.
Mhm.
Now, it could be a fantastic thing for Atlanta. Um, he
Right.
is not the number one starter in Atlanta. He's not even the number two starter.
Yeah.
So that may motivate him to get back to his glory days. It may
Mhm.
not, right? Because nobody's saying Chris Sale in Atlanta is coming to town. They're saying
Right.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is coming to town. They're not saying on the pitching side, they're not saying Chris Sale and the Braves are coming to town. They're saying Spencer Strider is coming to town.
Right.
So yeah,
So not having to be that sort, basically face of the franchise for the Red Sox and being able to almost take that step back to just being like, I'm just going to do what I got to do and do what I know I'm good at.
yeah, yeah. Focus on your craft. Focus on
Would you
your craft and
say,
ignore everything else.
last thing, would you say that this is the best possible restart for Chris Sale and the best possible location for a restart for Chris Sale uh, out of the other 29 or 28 teams in the league?
Possibly, very possibly, very
Yeah.
possible.
I just think with that defense behind them, who you got behind the plate, the pitching staff that they have in Atlanta, because that coaching pitching staff is incredible down there. They really
Yeah,
do a good job.
they do.
I think this was a great location for him to go. I think it was a great trade for really both sides when you look at how it could play out. And that's just
Mhm.
my opinion.
Amen.
Um, One that I'm really excited about, and I talked to you about it before the show. So we'll flip the switch on this one. But
Yep.
Robbie Ray is leaving the Mariners, coming to San Francisco. Anthony DeScalfani is heading out there. Mitch Haniger is making a reunion. And if I remember correctly, this was also $6 million in cash going to the Mariners.
Yeah.
So
So I know you're broken up about Anthony leaving. Um,
Oh, I'm
I
heartbroken.
I actually like this trade for you guys. And again, this is if, right?
Mhm.
So I actually like this trade for you guys in two facets. When Robbie Ray comes off the IL, if he can stay healthy, I love it for you guys. Okay. And that's a Dodger fan saying that I love it, right? I love it for you guys. I also love it if he doesn't opt out and he stays in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But if he is still injury prone, this sucks for you guys.
Hmm.
Also, if he, like we talked about before the show, if he has a great second half, he comes back and he has a great second half. Um, and he goes 6-1 in 8 starts with an ERA of 2. And
Hmm.
he's got 50 strikeouts or whatever in those 8 starts or whatever. His agent might say, "Hey, let's test this free agency market. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can get the Giants to pay you more, or
Right.
let's see if we can go down the road to LA and see if LA will pay you an ungodly amount of money." Or because that's what the Dodgers seem to be doing right now, is just finding themselves out of problems. Um, but yeah, I like this move
I
for you
appreciate
guys.
you admitting that.
It's what it
It, it
is.
it it warms my heart that as a Dodger fan you said that they're
Wouldn't you say the
buying
same thing if you were
themselves
the
out of a
Giants?
problem.
Wouldn't you say the same thing if you were if it was the Giants and they were doing the same
No,
thing?
I'd be saying the Giants are finally doing what they should have been doing for 4 years. That's what I'd be
Uh,
saying. If the Giants
well,
were spending the amount, if the Giants were spending the amount of money the Dodgers are spending in the last 2 years, that would be my response. It's about time.
well, keep in mind too, in the last 6 years, the Dodgers have made the World Series 3 times and won one of them. So, I mean, we're kind of
I'm
on a
just
roll
looking
right
at it
now.
from the Giants haven't signed a big name in God knows how long. So bringing in Robbie Ray for us is a big name.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely, absolutely. He'll fit. He'll fit really well. He'll fit
Mm.
really well in on the fourth place Giants.
I was hoping you'd have some more like interesting questions for me about this. I'm like
No,
I'm
I
like
I already
shocked
know
by it.
it. This is a great. I like the cash thing is a great thing. I know that you hate Anthony, so there's not. I mean, I know you were
So
excited about this trade. There's not that to me. This is a win-win for the Giants. I have no idea what Seattle knows about Robbie Ray. Their GM called me the other day, but I was busy and sent him a voicemail. I have no idea what in the world.
I'm gonna always pre-assume if a GM calls you, they've been sent to voicemail, unless it's
Absolutely.
the Dodgers.
Absolutely. Well, no, even then, listen,
Well, depending
Magic
on the
called
day,
me
I
the
think
other
with
day
them.
and I sent him
I
to
think with
voicemail.
them it depends on the day.
Yeah, Magic called me, I sent him to voicemail. I mean,
You got a lot of you got a lot to send Magic to voicemail.
no,
My
I
thing
just
with this trade, my thing with
tell
this
me.
trade is that I'm excited to see, like you said, what Robbie's gonna do when he comes back. I think, San Francisco's always been known as a pitcher's park.
Yep.
I think he will have success coming to a pitcher's park and being able to use that, have that as his, intro back into the league after the injury.
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
big. Um, DeScalfani was great for 4 months. I'll give him a season. He was great for a season's worth of time with the Giants. But they signed him to a 3-year contract that he never should have been signed to, and right after he got signed, he got hurt.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it brings me back to the Mark Melanson contract from I think 15 or 16, where they signed this guy to a 3-year contract who was the time was the greatest, one of the best closers in the league. And he came in, pitched 3 months, got injured, and did nothing for us ever since. And then he got traded, and then he did the same thing he did with the Nationals on that new team. So, DeScalfani to me is that kind of I'll come, I'll show up, I'll make my money, something will happen, I'll get traded, I'll do the same thing. And I don't want that to happen to another team. I think Mitch Haniger going back to Seattle after he got injured, he kind of got the short end of the stick. We had him for a 2-year contract. I think if he hadn't gotten injured, he wouldn't have been traded.
Yeah. No, agreed. And if you ask me, this is a win for the Giants. Um, but again, Robbie raised that wild card.
Yeah. But I think overall it will be good. I think
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
being pitcher friendly, getting 2.5, 3 months to pitch here, I think he'll find comfort. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Final trade though of the week came at the 11th hour. I think it
Hmm.
was what Friday yesterday at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. It was really weird. Luke Raleigh leaving Tampa Bay, going to the Mariners for Jose Caballero.
Yeah,
And
this
I'm
one
just
was a
happy I said
blockbuster
his name
trade.
right. I'm just
This one
happy I
was a
said his name.
blockbuster trade. Everybody knew about this trade.
Do you think now, I have to who wins in this trade? First off, let's start there.
Yes.
Everyone. This is good for both teams.
Yeah, this is not a yeah, it's going to be good for both teams. Now, Luke played for the Dodgers for a short period of time, and he was killing the ball when he played for the Dodgers, but he was a man without a position.
Hmm.
Um, that being said, uh, in Tampa, he hasn't matched up to everything that I thought he would be. But
Mhm.
again, this is a this is kind of an even swap.
Yeah. So, not to go too much into this one, because while it was really big blockbuster, as we said, this was pretty even. Both teams won. There's no losers on this trade. This was good for both sides. Is it odd that we've had three major trades this week, and we still have all of these people on the free agent list that haven't even been touched?
So the only thing I'm going to say about this list, there's some great names on here, and I hope to Dickens some of these fellas have already signed. They're just waiting on their physicals before they announce it. Because honestly, I, you see pitcher on here. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one thing to learn the team culture when you're trying to hit, it's another thing to try to pitch and to learn the vibes of the team and things like that. All these guys that are starting pitchers and relief pitchers should have already signed.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
And
listen, pitchers and catchers report in just over a month. Just
yeah.
over a month. Come on. Drives me crazy.
Yeah,
Drives
no,
me crazy.
100%. It. I and to me that is why the pitchers and catchers reports in, as you said, just over a month. The official countdown for pitchers and catchers reporting on springtrainingcountdown.com,
Mhm.
36 days, 12 hours, 32 minutes, and 45 seconds.
I'm sad
So
that you know that, but that's awesome.
I'm looking at the countdown website right now.
Okay, awesome.
Um,
But
I
what do you
I
think?
think
I mean, what do you think, Sam? Honestly, like, doesn't it bother you that some of these
more than
guys
anything,
haven't signed yet?
this actually bothers me more than anything, and I agree with you 100%. And I believe truly that's why did the right thing. He wanted to be signed as quickly as possible. Now he's not going to be able to pitch this year, which we all know. We know he's not throwing a baseball
Right.
unless by some chance he decides in the middle of the season he wants to go play left field, which he talked about. I don't know why you would want to do that as a pitcher, but he said he'd do it. But you hit the nail on the head. If, you know, these pitchers, while they don't report to camp, need to report to the organization so they can get connected with their catchers. Because for pitchers, it's so important to start building that camaraderie and relationship with your catcher.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, and when you have teams, and I'll use the Giants as an example. When you have the Giants who have you have Patrick Bailey. You just traded for the guy from oh, I think they traded for him from Seattle too. I can't even remember. And then you got Blake Sable, who's another catcher, and then we still have Joey Bart. So there's another one. you have all these catchers. You need to figure out, okay, here's your starting rotation.
Yep.
Who are your pitchers' preferred catchers to catch to?
Yep.
Because they're not all going to want to catch to Patrick Bailey. Some may
Yep.
want to have Blake Sable as their catcher. So they need to get wrapped up so they can at least have a couple of weeks to build that camaraderie before pitchers and catchers start. I
Yep.
agree with you 100%. This bothers me more than anything. And I hope within the next week, if not a quarter, at least 4 of these guys are off this board.
Yeah.
I hope I can change this board by next week. I'm going to be so upset if I can't.
Yep. Yep. There you go.
And that's not even, and again, we even still have this board. I can't even go into it. There's so many people. So
Yeah.
let's start signing teams. Let's start signing some free agents teams. Let's go. So we
Yep.
got some fun right now. Bill wants to throw me for a loop. So we're going to let him throw me for a loop. We're going to
Yep.
do
Okay.
a
So
couple
for the
minutes of start one, bench one, cut one.
so
Bill, take
Sam
it away.
Sam and I have done this before, and it's fun. And so for the next 5 minutes or so, we're gonna play start one, bench one, cut one. And what I'm gonna do, Sam has no idea what's on this note card, none whatsoever.
Are
But
you
what
going to
I'm
give me
gonna
the tear
do,
up at the end like you do on an INL?
oh, I can if you want me to.
I do. I
ITO.
want the full scope. I want the full rip and everything.
Okay, you listen, I'll get it ready. All right, so I'm gonna start you off easy. Okay. Let me start you off easy. Cobb, Ray, Webb. You gotta start one, you gotta bench one, you gotta cut one. Assuming that Ray's
God.
healthy.
Oh God. That's not easy. That's not an easy. What are you talking about? I'm gonna I'm gonna start Webb.
Okay.
I'm gonna bench. I'm gonna bench Cobb and I'm gonna cut Ray. And the only reason I'm cutting Ray is because I haven't seen him pitch yet. So I don't know what. And that's all, again, as you said, presuming he comes back healthy. He could come back healthy and still not pitch well. So I don't know what I'm getting back. Cobb, I at least know is a solid starter. And Webb, while he may have some rough points at the beginning of the season, by the end of the second month, he's coasting. So I'm good.
So right here on this card, it actually says this. You just mentioned this. Murphy, Sable, Bart.
That was Murphy. Thank you. I'm cutting Bart. I'm just cutting Bart.
Okay. Who are you
I was
starting?
I had such high hopes for him. I'm going to start Sable and I'm going to bench Murphy only because I know what Sable is. I know how Sable has caught our pitchers.
Okay.
Murphy, I haven't seen, but I know Murphy is a stellar defender.
Okay.
So, yeah, but Bart, I
All
could throw
right.
him to the not worry about it.
Conforto, Slater, Yaz.
I'm going to start Conforto. I'm
Okay.
going to bench Slater. No, bench Yaz, and I'm going to cut Slater. And Slater has been injury prone throughout his entire career. I don't think he's actually played one complete season. Yaz, while streaky, is more stable than Slater.
Mhm.
And and Conforto's bat is stronger than both of them. So I can't not put him in.
Okay, so these next six are gonna make you think a bit. But
I'm
you
not good
know,
with thinking a bit.
yeah, but you don't have a lot of time to think about it.
That's fair.
Marshall, Mel Ott, Christy Matheson.
Marischal
Hmm.
was the first one.
Yep.
Ott and Matheson.
Yep.
I'm gonna cut Ott. I'm gonna start Marischal, and I'm gonna bench Matheson.
Okay. Mad Bum, Will Clark, Buster Posey.
I hate you just a little bit. Let me get that. Are we talking Mad Bum now or Mad Bum 2014?
Mad Bum 2014, I guess.
Oh, why? Not fair. That's not nice. That's cruel. That's cruel and unusual punishment.
I know we're having fun with
Um,
this.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna start Buster. I'm gonna cut Bum, and I'm gonna bench Will Clark because I can't cut Will Clark. You can't cut Will Clark
No, you can't.
because guess what? If the Giants were to go into a fight with any team, I want Will Clark there.
All
I
right.
can get rid of Bumgarner if I've got Clark to fight.
All right. Ripken, Jeter, A-Rod.
Oh, I'm cutting A-Rod without even thinking about it. That's not even a question. I'm gonna bench Ripken and I'm gonna start Jeter.
Okay. I like it. I
Which
like it.
which that one was tough. That I mean, besides A-Rod, that one was tough because I mean, it's Ripken. Like it's that one. It's a legend of the game,
Yep.
but Jeter's the captain, and if you're gonna look for the most stable guy out of those three that you could put in and day out, it's him.
Okay. Ichiro, Win, Pujols. None of these three guys
I'm
ever give it a
cutting. I know. Why do you do this?
because I can.
I'm cutting Win. I'm benching Full Host, and I'm starting Ichiro.
You're cutting Gwyn? Tony Gwyn? Okay. All right. All
You
right.
put me in a corner. What
I
do you want
know.
me to say?
Okay. Here's your last two, and then you can breathe. Okay.
I haven't breathed since the start of this.
Now, we may or may not have already discussed this one, but we're going to have some fun with you. We're going to get him on the record where it is recorded. Mays, Mantle, Jackie Robinson.
God,
uh,
I'm obviously starting Willie Mays. That's not even a question.
okay.
Either guy I bench or cut, you're gonna lay into me. So either way, I don't win here. I know last time I said I'd cut this person, but I'm gonna bench Jackie and I'm gonna cut Mantle.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep.
But Willie is gonna start. There's no question about that.
Say hey. Okay. Here's the final one for you. Okay. And then I will rip this card up and throw it like I normally do, just so that you know.
Thank
All
you.
right. You ready?
Because I never want to see this card ever again.
Well, turnabout's fair play. You can do this to me next week if you like.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend all week putting together a list
I know you are.
just to mess with you.
I know you are. All right. Here we go. Last one. Mets Meg, Mikey Bleeds Blue, Baseball Bill.
I'm cutting Mikey Bleeds Blue. I love you, Mikey, but I'm cutting you. Um, and Bill, as pretty as you are, you're getting benched, and I'm gonna start.
You're gonna start making cut Mikey and bench me. Got it. All right,
Hey, I
Sam.
didn't cut you. At least I didn't cut you.
That's fine. I ripped it. I tossed
But
it.
I gotta
You're
say,
safe.
the reason why you were benched and not cut is because I look at you as more of a baseball purist than I look at Mikey.
That's fine. That's fine. When
Would
this
you
goes
would
up
you
in the locker room, I'll let
you would
Mikey
agree
listen to
with me
this.
on that you are much more of a baseball purist than Mikey.
Yeah, well, Mikey, yeah, when it comes to Dodger knowledge, Mikey's got it. But
Right.
yeah. So
Overall baseball knowledge, you would blow Mikey out of the water.
there you go. All right. So
Love you,
you
Mikey, but
survived.
it's true. I survived. Now, by the skin of my teeth, I survived. But
Yes, you
nonetheless.
survived.
But you put together a great schedule right before you put together a really good schedule right before Fan Fest. So why don't you
We
run me
did.
through it?
So Susie and I do Astros in Orbit. That is a podcast that goes on every week, and Susie's actually going to be on Monday's episode, which is our typical Astros in Orbit, just so that everybody gets a chance to listen to it.
That's
Ryan,
fair.
I actually met in a mall when I was doing a walk. He was wearing a Padres hat, and I said, "Hey, do you just like the hat, or are you a Padres fan?" He said, "No, I love the hat, and I love the Padres." Wednesday, I got 4 Angel fans coming on. I have no idea how that's going to play itself out. Um, Harmony is going to talk about being a Tigers fan as well, and Benjamin is a new guest. He's going to be on as a Philly fan. As far as
Awesome.
ITL goes, though,
It's kind of light
there
this week, little light.
there's a number of people that are going to be coming on. We're just working on that. By the way, your friend Mike was on this last week.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look back and check that out. I missed it, and he never
Yes,
told me, so I'm a little disappointed and upset,
but
and we'll call him after.
big announcement. Big announcement. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour, I will be joining AJ from Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. And we will be doing a radio show. Now, AJ does this radio show and he does a phenomenal job. He's on for 2 hours a night, Monday through Friday. He does a fantastic job, and he's asked me to come and co-host with him for an hour. So for those of
It's
you that are
awesome.
listening to this, Tony Bruno is a huge Phillies guy. A Philly guy. He's been on ESPN. He has his own network. It's called the Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download that, on your Apple, if or Samsung, and listen to it. It's going to be great. It goes live, so it's going to be fantastic.
Awesome. Now, as we said, we are about 2 weeks away officially from FanFest. You should have already gotten your emails about FanFest. I
Yep.
got my email about FanFest. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you are there with us. You are not going to want to miss not only seeing the Rivalry Talks film live, but I believe there'll be some panel discussions, a couple of round tables going on. Bill, you have put together such a great community and a great schedule for this event. I can't
Thank you.
thank you enough, and I know the fans can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you very much. It's going to be a great time. I cannot wait to see everybody there. For those of you listening to this, if you're not going to FanFest this year, you're going to have FOMO. Next year, it's going to be even twice as big. So don't get
Ooh.
yourself in FOMO though.
Probably won't be in Vegas, though. Bill and I have discussed those.
Yep. Yep.
Hopefully
So
not Vegas. I would prefer LA over Vegas, but that's just me.
we'll see what we can do.
As always, make sure you are checking out TopFanRivalry.com for new articles, podcasts, and merch dropped on the reg. Bill keeps it up to date and keeps it pumping out. Anything else for the fans out there, Bill?
Nope, I think we're good. I think we did good. That was fun. I'm sure
That
you're
was
going
a
to
great
want to turn
podcast.
it around on me next week, but that's fine. Let's
Oh,
do it.
it's happening. It is going to happen. You are not going to want to miss this. And I want to put together a Q&A segment on this show. So please send us in your questions. We want to hear what your questions are, and we will answer them right here on the show. So you can get answers directly from the men themselves, Baseball Bill and Grand Slam Sam. We are signing off, and we will see you on the field next week. Have a good week.
See you later.